Thanks to Drew Griffin for that report. I want to now bring in private investigator James Copenhaver. James, hearing this new information about the moments and the days leading up to this attack, what goes through your mind? Transferring property, buying expensive jewelry, making sure his wife had access to his financial accounts?
You know, as days pass, we learn more about the shooter, and it's clear to me, and it's abundantly clear, that this guy had everything planned out and absolutely knew without a shadow of a doubt that he was not going to exit that building alive.
So let's talk about this phone call that came from a friend during this attack. Now, he saw the posts on Facebook, but we're told that this call came during the attack, so it's between 2 and 5 a.m. that this friend calls about medication. As an investigator, what do you glean from that?
Yeah, that's the weirdest part about the entire time span between 2 and 5. Why is he texting about medication? Is he trying to get empathy? He's certainly selfish at that point. There are many people laid dead on the floor that he had shot and murdered, but yet he's reaching out concerning medication. It's just unhinged.
Yeah, that friend being, we're told, questioned by the FBI. Again, this friend, we're told, a medical professional who saw the post and then had this discussion with the team about medication. There also have been these reports that have come out through CNN's Brian Todd about his disciplinary history in grade school, going not just through high school, but all the way back to 3rd grade. What's the relevance of those reports as we look now at this man who is in his late 20s, or at least was?
Not being a psychologist, but that's the telltale sign. I mean, this guy was trouble from the 3rd grade all the way up until last Sunday. Every bell in the world went off. You had many people that came across his path who all said that he was strange, violent, and would have these outbursts of anger. Unfortunately, though, no one picked up and actually did anything about it regarding mental health.
Now, we know that during the shooting, he called the police, pledging his allegiance to ISIS. He also mentioned the Tsarnaev brothers, who were responsible for the bombing in Boston. They have a connection to Al-Qaeda, discussed back in 2013, Hezbollah. I mean, does this sound like to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, someone who was determined to attack, was just looking for a reason, looking for a group to connect himself to and with?
Yeah, it's almost, we don't know if he's a true ISIS sympathizer or is he just a lone wolf wannabe, for instance. My concern is the same mosque that he's attended, they were a bombing suspect that was attending the same mosque. So, was he actually part of ISIS, or was he just trying to fit in, most likely like he was the gay community? I mean, he came up here and visited Pulse many times, and we even have people that, I heard on the radio the other day, that he was actually trying to pick up men. So, is it an identity crisis? We know that he's crazy, but he was just trying to fit in somewhere, and I think he may have used this ISIS term to fit in.
Yeah, and we know that as investigators try to piece together this motive, that's exactly what it may end up being. Pieces of different motivations, not singularly terror, not singularly hate against a specific demographic group. That work continues here and at locations, I'm sure, across the country. James Copenhaver, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Now, we can